From Quantel. Just explain what Quantel does.
Okay, Quantel is a British company. We've been around for about 30 years. We're very well known in the post-production and broadcast areas of the market. In fact, we pretty much invented the post-production systems. So actually in South Africa, some post-production companies use Quantel for commercials and that type of content. And then we're working with big broadcasters on big news systems as well. So the BBC and Sky use Quantel for news, and we're hoping to announce some big activity in South Africa related to news.
And when will that happen, that announcement?
Hopefully very soon, in the next couple of months, but it's taking a little bit of time. Yes.
And just explain, just so I'm clear in my own mind, do you supply the software or is it everything?
We supply a complete system.
Okay.
So for post-production you would buy a complete machine, something called a Quantel EQ or an IQ that does SD and HD and actually can go up to 4K all in real time. And actually the top end of those can also do 3D, which I think we'll talk about a little bit in a second. And then in the broadcast area we actually run big systems that are modular blocks that you can build up and customize depending on exactly what the needs are.
Okay. Let's talk about the 3D TV.
Absolutely.
That's quite amazing. Tell me about how developed and what is the future of 3D TV?
Well, 3D TV, I think, is the next big thing. I think if we think about it from a consumer point of view, I think a lot of consumers get very confused about SD and HD. They go and buy themselves an HD television, and they think they've got HD, but they don't really realise they actually need to get some HD content for it. And so there is an amount of confusion. Certainly in the UK, maybe here. What I tend to notice is that even people that don't know very much about our business, when they see a 3D television, they absolutely are terribly excited, realise that they've seen something new, and it always puts a smile on my face as well. So I think 3D television will be a big, there'll be a lot of uptake once we can sort of get there.
Critical mass.
Yeah, exactly. Once it gets critical mass. I mean, JVC have just released a television. Big consumer electronics companies are now releasing television. So I'd imagine that Sony and Samsung and the others will be fairly close behind. In the UK, we'll probably have a 3D sports channel within the next 12 months, I would imagine, from one of our broadcasters there.
And the 3D, sorry to interrupt, the 3D is then, by all accounts, I understand it, edited, and so you have to edit the content.
Shall I give you, basically what you need is two cameras to shoot. So it's a little bit like your eyes. That's how we can see 3D, and you're sort of replicating the same thing with the cameras. And you can use practically any camera, but then it's got a special rig, so all the focusing and zooming is all done together, and various other sides of things. So you have two streams of content. Quantel then are able to do the post-production of that in real time in 3D, so you can always see the 3D. You can sit there with your glasses on, and we can edit it and composite and all the rest of it. And then you need to deliver that somehow.
To broadcast and streams it in that 3D content.
Yes, in that 3D content.
But do you need a 3D TV? You need a
3D television. So right now 3D televisions are relatively rare.
They're very expensive.
And fairly expensive. But I think what will happen is that maybe in the next 24 months when you go out to buy a new television, it will just come with 3D technology by default. It's a bit like you go and buy television now, it does HD and SD.
Or a computer.
It does lots of different things. It'll do 3D as well. It'll be like 3D inside, like Intel inside.
I sometimes get worried about obviously everyone does, because we are facing a recession and maybe a bigger depression. You never know. And technology initially is quite expensive, so a lot of people can't access it. I suppose it's like LCD screens. Initially they were very expensive, but now it's becoming more and more commonplace, and everyone kind of has an access to
Absolutely.
But can't they make this technology cheaper to enable it to be more broadly accessed?
I think the price of it will come down. I think the point you make about the recession is a good one. I think the recession is also quite interesting, because I think thinking back to the consumers again and what drives our business. So think for a lot of consumers, if you are a consumer that has been going out every night and spending quite a bit of money, when the recession comes, you then stop going out and you stay at home. You probably start investing in, staying at home, because that's actually cheaper than going out every night.
More money though now,
yeah, they are, because people are staying at home and they're not going out, or they're going to the cinema. Yeah, because going to the cinema is cheaper than having dinner and lots of drinks and all that sort. So instead of I think that media and media type technology will continue to grow even in a recession, because it's relatively cheap. Because we still need to entertain ourselves.
And are you based in London?
I'm based in the UK. Quantel's office is actually in a town called Newbury, which is about an hour on the train outside of London. But I travel a lot for business, and I'm one of the sales directors, so I have quite a wide area.
And how does Quantel view the African market? Positively, or?
I think we view every market positively. I think we view the African market as positive as anywhere else. Every market is different and has its own dynamics and its own requirements. So, what is acceptable in works maybe in LA doesn't work in India or here or whatever. So we have to work accordingly. But every market is, we like to have a presence in every market. So.
And just to round off, your main objectives at Mediatech?
My main objectives are twofold really. One is to, show the 3D technology and raise that profile, because I think that's, of benefit to us and also to lots of people here. And then talk in specifics. The good thing about the 3D television, it tends to attract people, and then you can talk to them. And educating people on what our post-production products do, what we do in the broadcast space, and talking to broadcasters on what their requirements are moving forward. So
well, I wish
should be
you
good.
all the best, and I'm sure we'll be in contact. Richard, thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.